The time is 10 o'clock. Here is the news at 10 on IELTS TV. First the headlines. IELTS alert. Dr. Zainab Akimbodi urges Ondo residents to stop using traditional eye remedies. NNPC Foundation's free eye surgery outreach transform lives across communities. On the foreign scene. Zooming into myopia. Kids' vision at risk as screen time skyrockets. Scientists map eye coordination brain circuits to improve balance and vision. Revolutionary eye therapies show promising results in treating target disease. Now the news in details. Ophthalmologist Dr. Zainab Akimbodi has warned Ondo residents to desist from the traditional use of urine and milk to treat eye defects. Speaking in Akure, the Ondo State capital, during a two-day free healthcare outreach conducted by the Philips Diagnostic Center, Dr. Zainab lamented the alarming rate at which people now embrace the orthodox way of treating eye problems that have aided total blindness among those engaging in the practice. According to her, recent findings reveal that most of the patients who came for fresh checkups already have their eye damaged as a result of these traditional eye medications. Dr. Zainab mentioned that as an ophthalmologist, they see a lot of patients using traditional eye medications on their eyes, with things like nursing mothers putting breast milk on their children's eyes, people putting urine, onions, leaves, sugar water, and all sorts of things. She mentioned that these things have caused a lot of defects in their eyes. During the event, she mentioned that prevention is better than cure. So the best thing to do is to help educate against using harmful practices. During the event, she mentioned that prevention is better than cure. So the best thing to do is to help eradicate and educate against such harmful practices, stating that outreaches like these are one of the ways of sensitizing the people against using substances in their eyes. She mentioned that part of the main challenges faced is due to the cost of healthcare. So people visit all sorts of places and they put all sorts in their eyes. The facility manager, Emmanuel, said the initiative was to address the healthcare needs of the people due to the rising cost of medical care and to raise awareness on the importance of regular health checkups. Mr. Emmanuel mentioned that it is also their own way of corporate social responsibility by making people happy in their own little way, and it is something they consider to be too important as hundreds of people will be benefiting from the program. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC Foundation has been lauded for its impactful free eye surgery outreach, which took place from December 16, 2024 to January 12, 2025. The program conducted across various venues including Federal Medical Center Abeokuta, Likosi Health Care Center, FMC Abeokuta, FMC Ijoga, and FMC Ajebo, aimed to perform 1,000 free cataract extraction surgeries, a significant step in the fight against preventable blindness. During the outreach at FMC Ijoga on Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, a total of 28 cataract surgeries and pterygium surgeries were successfully carried out by a team of ophthalmologists. Patients were treated with utmost care and respect, with many expressing heartfelt gratitude for the life-changing opportunity. Speaking at the event, Dr. Aremu, a consultant in the ophthalmology department of FMC, commended the NNPC for sponsoring the program, which he described as well thought out. In an interview with IELTS television correspondent Mr. Kayode Durojaye, Dr. Aremu highlighted the program's aim to prevent blindness while providing critical surgeries for cataract and pterygium, which are major causes of visual impairment. Dr. Aremu said during the interview that the outreach not only provides medical care, but also enhances patients' education and awareness about eye health. He emphasized the program's significant positive impact on the community, particularly for patients who face financial constraints in accessing necessary medical care. He also mentioned that one of the most frustrating experiences for any doctor is seeing a patient in need of urgent medical attention, but unable to afford it. He added programs like this bring relief to both patients and doctors, as it is fulfilling and rewarding to witness the difference it makes in people's lives.
I'm Dr. Aremo, doctor in Department of Ophthalmology, FMC Abeokuta. This program was sponsored by NNPC, and the aim is to prevent blindness. And we were able to cover a series of surgeries, including cataract extraction surgery, pterygium extraction surgery. Will have a positive effect on the populace and on the country in general. So I use this opportunity to thank all those who have participated one way or the other in the program. It is a program that is worth wow. Coming out with this kind of nice program is something that is commendable, and it's fulfilling to every one of us, especially me as a doctor. Is a way to prevent blindness in the country. So it's really fulfilling. It's rewarding. So as I said, the program is commendable. The sponsor, I will really commend them, and I want them to continue this kind of program. They should not rest on their hours, so that more and more people will be able to access medical care, and it will help us in preventing blindness in the country.
Dr. Aremu concluded by calling on the sponsors to sustain and expand the initiative, stating that it is a commendable program that should not be abandoned as it is making a real difference in the lives of many and should be executed more frequently. On the foreign scene, a paper in the British Journal of Ophthalmology revealed 276 studies published to June 2023 from around the world concluded that 1 in 3 of all children and teens are nearsighted. The research estimates the current rate of myopia among children in Canada at roughly 25%. The research stated that this number is lower than the international average, but it is still a significant increase from the prevalence of 17.5% concluded by University of Waterloo Research in a paper published in early 2020. In a study at the University of Waterloo, it stated that time spent outdoor was the only child activity to have a significant impact on myopia, and that one additional hour of outdoor time per week could lower the child's odds of developing myopia by 14%. According to Lisa Christian, an associate director of clinical practice at the University of Waterloo School of Optometry, she mentioned that myopia increased dramatically during the period of COVID, and that the research suggests the trends are linked to kids spending more time indoors, doing what's known as near work, such as looking at books, computers, or phone screens. According to Christian, the research suggests that children should spend 1 to 2 hours per day outdoors to protect their eyes against the onset of myopia. She stated that the time does not need to be consecutive. Dr. Asim Ali, an ophthalmologist in chief at Sick Child's Hospital in Toronto, mentioned in an interview that being outdoors not only provides eye muscles with a needed break from near work, there is also evidence that the quality and intensity of outdoor light can prevent against myopia. He says when children are indoors, it's important to provide bright light to ease the strain on the eyes. A study published in January 2024 looked at the increase of screen use among school-age children and teens between 2018 and 2021, before and after the COVID-19 pandemic was declared in March 2020. Its findings noted that the proportion of youngsters using screens in excess of 4 hours per day jumped significantly in 2020 and remained high. Dr. Stephen Dutchin, a pediatric and adult ophthalmologist in Calgary, says myopia should not be dismissed as a trivial matter that can simply be corrected with glasses. She stated that as prescriptions get bigger and bigger, any individual is at risk in their lifetime of other health issues related to the eye. She advised parents to encourage their kids to take frequent breaks when they are inside doing near work with their eyes, such as reading, homework, or looking at the screen. In a study led by researchers at NYU Grossman School of Medicine, the study revolves around how vertebrates, which includes humans and animals spanning evolution from primitive fish to mammals, stabilize their gaze as they move. To do so, they use a brain circuit that turns any shifts in orientation sensed by the balance system in their ears into an instant counting movement by their eyes. The study featured experiments done in zebrafish larvae, which have a similar gaze-stabilizing reflex to the one in humans. Further, zebrafish are transparent, so researchers literally watched brain cells called neurons mature to understand the changes that let a newborn fish rotate its eye up appropriately as its body tilts down. Associate professor in the Department of Neuroscience, David, said that discovering how vestibular reflexes come to be may help find new ways to counter pathologies that affect balance or eye movement. According to past studies, it is established that sensory inputs help animals learn to move properly in the environment. The new work suggests that such turning reflex comes into play only after the reflex has fully matured. Remarkably, another set of experiments show that the reflex circuits also reaches maturity during development without input from a gravity sensing vestibular organ called the cortical. The researchers found the central and motor neurons in the circuit showed mature responses before the reflex had finished developing. Consequently, the slowest part of the circuit to mature could not be in the brain as long assumed, but was found instead to be at the neuromuscular junction. A series of experiments revealed that only the pace of maturity of the junction matured the rate at which fish improved their ability to counter-rotate their eye. Dr. David said that his team will study their newly developed circuit in the context of human disorders, saying that ongoing work explores how failures of motor neurons and neuromuscular junction developments led to disorders of the ocular motor system, including a common misalignment of the eyes called the lazy eye or the crossed eye. Paige Leary, a graduate student in Dr. David's lab, who led the study, said that understanding the basic principles of how vestibular circuits emerge is a prerequisite to solving not only balance problems but also brain disorders of the development. Researchers have developed a therapy to treat Stargardt disease, the most common form of inherited macular degeneration, which often leads to vision loss. The researchers' study shows promising results using a precise technique from gene correction, stating that the Stargardt disease affects 1 in 6,500 people and it is therefore a rare disease. Those affected increasingly lose the ability to see in the center of their field of vision, which makes it difficult to recognize faces and read. The symptom usually begins before the age of 20, often in childhood, while there is currently no effective treatment. A research team led by Professor Bensey George and Professor Boston Roska from the Institute of Molecular and Clinical Ophthalmology Brazil and the University of Brazil has developed a therapy to correct the genetic cause of Stargardt disease. The study will be conducted in collaboration with scientist David Bryson from the biotechnological enterprise Beam Therapeutics was published in the journal Natural Medicine. The team employed a technique called base editing, which enables researchers to replace individual building blocks of the DNA code, known as nucleotide bases. The researchers developed a molecular system targeting the nucleotide for their therapeutical approach. This system is delivered into retinal cells using modified viral vectors. The goal is to correct the most common mutation associated with Stargardt disease. Benser said during the research that their approach achieves remarkably high rates of gene correction, as they observed average editing rates of 75% in cone cells and 87% in retinal pigment cells, saying that these rates far exceed what they believe is necessary to provide clinical benefits to patients. Alisa Mola, a doctoral student at IOB, highlighted the precision and safety of the technique. She said during the interview that they conducted extensive off-target analysis and found no evidence of unintended edits in the retina or other parts of the body. The researchers also emphasized that their base editing approach potentially be adapted to treat other inherited retinal diseases caused by similar mutations. The results represent a significant advancement in ocular gene therapy and that the next step may include further safety studies and preparation for clinical trials. That was news at 10 on ILTV. I am Angela Oluwafagunwe. Thank you for joining us.
iHealth TV, preventing needless blindness.